If you're watching this late at night, this message is not random. This message was meant to reach you before you fall asleep. If you are reading these words right now, pause for a moment and understand this: nothing about this moment is accidental. You didn't arrive here by chance. You didn't click this unknowingly. Something inside you was already listening long before your mind caught up. Night has a way of guiding us toward truth. When the noise fades, when expectations loosen their grip, when you are finally alone with your thoughts, that's when the heart speaks honestly. And tonight, your heart is speaking loudly. Even if you've been pretending not to hear it all day, you carried things you never spoke about. You replied to messages you didn't have the energy for. You smiled when you were exhausted. You stayed strong when you wanted to rest. You held yourself together because that's what you've learned to do. But now, the world is quiet. No one is asking anything from you. No one expects explanations. This is the moment your soul has been waiting for, because deep inside, there is something you haven't released yet. You are strong, but you are also tired. People admire your strength. They assume you're okay because you rarely complain. They think you're unbreakable because you survive things that would have shattered others. But strength does not mean untouched, and resilience does not mean unaffected. You've been carrying emotional weight silently, not because you wanted to, but because you didn't feel safe enough to put it down. And tonight, your soul is asking for rest. There is a memory that still visits you at night. Not during the busy hours, not when you're distracted, but in the quiet. It doesn't return as pain anymore. It returns as a feeling, a presence, a memory without words. It's not about the past itself. It's about what the past represented: connection, hope, being seen, being understood without having to explain yourself. And that feeling mattered. You were not wrong for caring deeply. You were not foolish for believing. You were not weak for hoping. You showed up honestly in a world where many people hide. That is not something to regret. That is something to respect. Some people enter your life to wake you up. Not everyone is meant to stay forever. Some come to reveal parts of you that you didn't know existed. Some come to teach you what you deserve. Some come to show you what you will no longer accept. And some connections end not because they failed, but because their purpose was fulfilled. That doesn't make the ending easy. It makes it meaningful. Your heart has been healing quietly. You may not notice it yet, because healing doesn't always feel like progress. Sometimes healing feels like confusion. Sometimes it feels like loneliness. Sometimes it feels like standing still. But healing is happening. You no longer chase what once hurt you. You no longer beg for clarity. You no longer explain your worth to people who refuse to see it. That is growth. Even when it feels uncomfortable, you have outgrown certain things, and that's why it hurts. Growth always creates distance. Distance from old habits. Distance from familiar pain. Distance from people who only knew the old version of you. And when you outgrow something, there is grief. Even if it wasn't good for you anymore, you are allowed to grieve and grow at the same time. Tonight, you don't need answers. Your mind keeps asking why it happened, why they changed, why it ended, why you still feel this way. But tonight, you don't need explanations. You need permission to rest without resolving everything. Some answers come with time. Some clarity arrives when you stop forcing it. Some understanding only comes after acceptance. You are not behind. You are not forgotten, even if it feels that way sometimes. There are moments when you feel invisible, when you wonder if anyone truly sees you, when you feel like you give more than you receive. But invisibility is often a sign of transition. You are between versions of yourself. And the world hasn't caught up yet. What is meant for you is quietly aligning. Not everything arrives with noise. Some blessings come softly. Some changes happen behind the scenes. Some doors open slowly so you don't walk back through the wrong ones. What is meant for you will not require you to abandon yourself. It will feel safe. It will feel steady. It will feel mutual. And when it arrives, you'll understand why everything else had to fall away. Before you sleep tonight, release the burden. You don't have to be strong right now. You don't have to hold it together. You don't have to plan or figure anything out. Let the weight drop. Let your breath slow. Let your body soften. Let your heart rest without defending itself. You are allowed to be human tonight. Say this silently to yourself. I did the best I could with what I knew at the time. I am learning. I am healing. I am becoming. Say it gently, without judgment. The next chapter will feel different. Not louder. Not dramatic. Calmer. Healthier. More aligned. You won't have to chase. You won't have to prove yourself. You won't have to question where you stand. Because peace will replace confusion. And when peace arrives, you'll realize just how heavy your heart once was. Now let your eyes rest. You don't need to carry today into tomorrow. Sleep is not avoidance. Sleep is restoration. And tonight, restoration is exactly what you need. You were meant to read this before you closed your eyes. You were meant to feel seen before you slept. You were meant to remember your worth in the quiet. Rest now. You are safe. You are guided. You are becoming something beautiful. Good night.